The following is a presentation of Biggs Media Services.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting's hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Are you ready? Time to play the game!
Biggs Golf Talk. Golf Talk for golfers.
You want to hear a nice golf joke? Yeah, I should have showed up and watched me play yesterday. I should be put on Sink Galore or something like that. A team named that. Scramblers. That's it. Scramblers, that's a team I should be on. Because I was scrambling for my ball.
There's a golf shot. That's a golf shot.
Hey, when am I going to get the caddy?
The bag is bigger than you.
So?
That white one?
Yeah?
That's the one you're carrying.
Oh, man, that thing's a boat anchor.
I haven't had the golf anything since high school.
No, that's you, not me. She likes to enjoy a beverage herself. Is that what you're trying to say?
I might be distracted. That's another story. Golf course and equipment reviews, golf news, guests, and lots of golf humor. When you need to drive for show,
are you ready
for Biggs Golf Talk?
I'm special.
Yes, you are, with a helmet.
So I got that going, which is nice.
It is showtime, baby. Here we go.
Biggs Golf Talk is presented by U.S. Golf Challenge with Tito's Vodka. Get ready to qualify for the 2020 National Qualifier near you by visiting usgolfchallenge.com. Find that National Qualifier. That's going to be local to you. You have an opportunity to represent Team USA at the International Kings Cup. Biggs Golf Talk is also sponsored in part by ShotScope, Data is Power, Encore Golf, Photo Ball Marker. And by the way, we want to wish Photo Ball Marker's very own Shar, who is right now at the USGA Senior Open and had qualified and is now competing in that tournament. So we wish her nothing but the best of luck. McNally 22. Ready putt, never putt with a dirty ball. Spider Divot Tools. Connect with Biggs Golf Talk on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, GolfBall. Subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes. We're available in the Google Play Music Store, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and on your Alexa devices. Big John Vick along with the GolfFather, Bill Cuebas, our website, www.biggsgolftalk.com, BIGGS, golftalk.com. And the giveaways is posted on Biggs Golf Talk, so you can go enter on there. And also, don't forget about the Ready Putt head cover we're giving away on Instagram on the Biggs Golf Talk page. So head over to Instagram and like us on Instagram and your chance to win. We will announce the winner on September 1st for the Instagram. Also, Billy, something we want to talk about is our flag giveaway, and that is sponsored by Flags for Vets, made by a vet. And Billy, all someone has to do, they don't have to be a vet themselves, But all they have to do is tell us the story about a loved one or somebody they know personally that should be receiving one of these great handmade flags by Chris Morgan. And all you have to do is email us, BiggsGolfTalk@gmail.com, BIGGS golftalk@gmail.com. Tell us your story. And we've had a couple winners already. And, they have a chance to win one, and all entries will remain in the pot if you don't get selected. So we have a couple emails in there already that's been in there for quite some time. We pick them at random. Brad Buckland actually won a flag. So, Billy, we encourage people to tell us the story if they know a veteran and think they should be receiving one of these wooden handmade flags.
Absolutely. There's so many people out there that deserve. We got some great stories in so far. It's tough picking, a winner per se, but like we've got Chris out there. He's still doing a lot of flags for a lot of vets, giving them away. We're just another way of getting the word out and helping, some of our listeners who are veterans and all the stuff that we do and traveling for the Folds of Honor and doing that stuff. We get to meet a lot of people, and there's a lot of amazing stories out there, a lot of amazing veterans. And I want more submissions to come in because the stories that we get to read, they're amazing.
Very touching, very touching. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Billy, you and I just returning back from Lake Geneva. We'll talk about that with our Lake Geneva, Geneva National USGC qualifying wrap-up, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit, in a few minutes. But what a great trip it was, huh?
Oh, it was amazing. I loved every minute of it. We got to spend time together, but the people that we met, that are new, that were qualifying, we met a lot of great people, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of the people that won there at the national championship that we're going to in Myrtle Beach. So yeah, it was fun. We got to see some people that we already know that are like family to us. So overall, it was a great event. Looking forward to the next one.
Absolutely. We're going to be doing a live broadcast from the national event. From national championships in Myrtle Beach, and that was just added, by the way, while we were in Lake Geneva. They asked us to come out to Myrtle Beach to the Legends and do a live show, so we're looking forward to it, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. It's something that, it's getting bigger and bigger, Biggs. We get to share a lot more. We went with one show to start, and we ended up with two. So, we're hitting big audiences. The podcasts are getting replayed and checked out and listened to. A lot of people are taking notice to it. And, it's the content that we give the people that are there. You saw the shows that we did. They were nonstop and fully packed.
Absolutely.
With content,
Absolutely. Hey, we have a good show for you today. Today, we're going to have Big.Balls is going to be on the show. Express Golfco is going to be on the show. On Par with Amanda is returning here. And John Duval. John Duval is going to be moving on to the national championships to represent Team USA in the International Kings Cup. We're talking about his experience and what he's looking forward to in Myrtle Beach. So all that here on Biggs Golf Talk and a roundtable discussion to talk about slow play. So we're looking forward to doing that. Billy, before I give you some golf news here, I got a little golf trivia for you. So this is gonna test your skill and test your knowledge here. You ready?
I'm ready.
Which of the following is not considered a loose impediment? Is it A, pine cone, B, animal droppings, C, soda cans, or D, twigs? Which is not considered a loose impediment?
I'm going to go with poop for 400.
You're going to go
Final answer.
You're going to go for crap for 400?
Yeah. Yeah. Final answer.
Wrong. It is C.
So hold on a second. Go ahead. What is it?
C, soda cans. Loose impediments are defined as naturally occurring objects and are considered part of the course.
So let me get this straight. They want me, if my ball lands near some poop, to hit the poop, but I can move a can. I can't No. I want him. I'd rather hit it by the can than hit it by the poop. No, that rule needs to be changed. Who do we have to write to? That rule needs to be changed.
The USGA.
And you know what? I'm just saying, Big. You know, you said loose impediment, right? Well, how about if it wasn't a loose stool? You know what I mean? We need to move from the poop. That's all I'm saying. That's a poop job right there. That's no way. Nope.
A special thank you to the Ultimate PGA Book of Trivia. More than 600 questions and answers, and that is right out of the book. And, Billy, every single week, we're going to give you a trivia.
I like that, but I'm still moving it away from the poop. That's all I'm saying. I'm not taking it so far either. Yep.
All right. Now, a lot of talk about Tiger Woods being the captain of the President's Cup and who he's going to pick as a captain's pick and all that stuff. Will he pick himself? Well, Tiger Woods plans to consult automatic qualifiers on captain's picks for the President's Cup. As the captain of the President's Cup, according to CBS Golf, Tiger Woods has the power to make 4 captain's picks for the team among the golfers who did not automatically qualify. In a strange bit of fate, the pool from which he can choose includes, among many, Ricky Fowler, Jordan Spieth, Matthew Wolff, Phil Mickelson, and himself. So would Woods call his own number, use his captain power maybe, and call himself up to the 12-man squad? Most believe the answer to be is definitely yes. On Monday night, a conference call, the Woods towed the company line by insisting he'll consult with the 8 automatic qualifiers before making any decisions. He told ESPN.com, "My job as the captain is to put together the best team possible. Trying to put together the best 12 guys. We'll be going through the whole process of having communication with the top 8 guys and vice captains. That is something that we'll certainly talk about. Ultimately, it'll be my call, but I want to have all of their opinions before that decision is made." Bill, your thoughts?
I want to see him in there. I don't know if he's going to have double duty or what. I would, if I was Tiger Woods, I would pick me. You know, from the group, yeah, I would. I think it's admirable that he's going to have everybody talk about it and choose together and stuff like that. But, yeah, Tiger Woods adds that extra surprise and that extra fanfare. And I like to see him playing more as, you know, being on the sidelines. So I'm hoping he picks him, but, you know, I respect the way that he's going to go about it.
So Tiger Woods, being 43 years old, is clearly not the machine he was once before, but still showed some proof that he still has got it by winning the Masters this past year. So is that enough, Bill?
I think he still has it. I think, you know, he's consistently playing well. Everybody has their ups and downs. You know, we've had a few years where we've had the standouts and they go out there and they win, and then, you know, after that they fall apart and we don't see anymore. How many have done in the last several years? So Tiger Woods came back where nobody thought he'll never win, and look, he won. So to see him there, I think he deserves this next one, you know, to play in this one. And, you know, whatever happens after this year, we can talk about it next year. But I would like to see him play this year.
Now, the 8 automatic qualifiers that we are speaking of is Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Matt Kuchar, Xander Schauffele, Bryson DeChambeau, Webb Simpson, and Patrick Cantlay. So he's going to talk to those about adding on to the 12-man roster. I think that whole squad is a Tiger Woods fan, don't you?
I believe so. I think they're just like the rest of us. I believe even though they're golfers and they're pros, with the people that he has the option to choose, Tiger is at the time. I think Tiger would do a lot to lift them up. I think when people play next to Tiger, it's going to up their game. I think Tiger brings a lot. I think besides the fans and everything else, I think he brings a lot to the team and to the players by playing right next to them.
So you got 4 picks. You have Ricky Fowler, you have Jordan Spieth, Matthew Wolff, Phil Mickelson, and Tiger Woods. So I'm going to put it on you, Bill. Who's your first pick?
My first one out of all of them, I would pick Ricky Fowler.
Who's your pick number 2?
Then I would go with Tiger Woods.
Pick number 3.
Probably go with Wolf.
Pick number 4. Phil Mickelson or Jordan Spieth?
Yep. No, Phil Mickelson.
So we're sending Jordan Spieth home.
Yeah. He didn't impress me this year.
Here is my pick. My pick is Ricky Fowler. My pick is Matthew Wolff.
Yep.
My pick is Tiger Woods.
Yep.
And I'm flipping a coin between Phil Mickelson and Jordan Spieth.
Okay, so I mean that's
because I think Phil Mickelson he's a little older now. Jordan Spieth still is a little younger,
wise.
Right?
Yeah.
But people really respect Phil Mickelson under that type of play.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I believe so. And to be honest, one of the main reasons I wouldn't, because of the field that we're picking, I left him out because of his behavior this year. And so that was what was disappointing to me. And because he's been so classy up to this point that I don't know what got in his head or whatever, but there's a few things that he did out there that it was out of character, and I don't understand it. But when you're in that place, the people that are the same all year round, all the time, all the way, Ricky Fowler's been around forever, and he's always classy. And I think he's a fan favorite, for the kids and everybody else. And Wolf, he's come from, I think he deserves to be there this year. He's played some really good golf. And Phil is Phil, he's all over. Everybody wants to see him in there. And, who doesn't want the GOAT there? GOAT, Tiger, same thing. We want him there. I want him there.
Who would be your pick out there? Let us know on social media. We're going to post a story on social media. Who would be your pick? Who would be your 4 as a captain's pick? All right. We're going to head into our first break. When we come back, on par with Amanda to join us here on Bigg's Golf Talk. And the phrase that pays.
Do I get to pick or you're going to pick?
Go ahead. You get to pick.
I'm going to say Tiger.
There you go. We'll be right back right after this.
Hey everyone, Bigg's Golf Talk is now on iHeartRadio. Download the app for free or go to iHeart.com and search for Bigg's Golf Talk. Be sure to save us as a favorite so that you'll know when we're on. Join the millions of iHeartRadio listeners and listen to Bigg's Golf Talk. Golf Talk for golfers.
The United States Golf Challenge, sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka, is in its 5th season of identifying the best 2-person amateur teams in the country. 8 teams in 4 flights, in 2 age divisions, represent Team USA in a Ryder Cup-style competition with their international counterparts in the King's Cup. We're looking for amateur golfers like you. The King's Cup is played in honor of golf's greatest ambassador, Mr. Arnold Palmer, whose honesty, integrity, sportsmanship, and commitment to excellence represent the ideals for which the game of golf is known. The road to the King's Cup begins with a local qualifier. Over 100 local qualifiers will be conducted throughout the U.S. beginning in February. By finishing in the top 30% of their local qualifier, teams earn their way into the USGC King's Cup National Qualifier. The USGC is also looking for golf courses to host qualifiers. For information or to search for a local qualifier, the USGC website is www.usgolfchallenge.com.
This is a commercial for golfers. Take the next step to improving your game with ShotScope and discover your strengths and weaknesses. Analyze statistics on your clubs, tee shots, approaches, short game, and putting. ShotScope V2 is the golf watch that combines GPS distances with automatic performance tracking. Once you have it, you won't want to play around without it. Check out ShotScope.com to take your game to the next level.
It's time for commentary, opinion, and controversy. On par with Amanda. And here's the golf diva, Amanda Robertson.
Good morning, everyone, on Bigg's Golf Talk. You are listening to On Par with Amanda. Welcome back for another week of On Par, and we are going to dive right in. I wanted to have a lighthearted week. I'm right in the middle of Q school right now, and just a lot going on mentally, emotionally, physically, competing for my tour card and all of that. So I wanted to keep it lighthearted, and I actually wanted to talk a little bit about tee times and how stressful it can be to get to them on time. So as a tour professional, I think there are a lot of us that have this reoccurring dream that we're late to tee times, we can't get there, something is stopping us, and it's kind of an inside joke between a lot of golfers, but every once in a while that nightmare / dream actually comes true. So let's talk a little bit about Phil Mickelson. So he told a little bit of his wild Sunday before he showed up to his BMW championship round. He had said that he was staying on the top floor of this hotel, and it was actually struck by lightning, which is so out of the blue, but everyone had to evacuate. And it caused everyone to leave, and he had left his clubs, obviously, in the room. And so they had to evacuate. There were fire trucks. There was all this stuff going on. And Phil was stuck and thought, oh, my goodness, I'm going to be late to my tee time. I'm not going to be able to get my clubs. What is going to happen? And, of course, Phil, being kind of a laid-back guy, he said there was so much commotion going on, and he said, I got in my car and I had left, but then I couldn't get back because all of the roads were closed and the hotel. So he did a little panicking, and he definitely got it handled, and he was able to get back and get his stuff, but he got literally to the golf course in time to change his shoes and kind of get right to it, which can be stressful. You know, you as a player plan and prep and try to get everything situated so you can have a smooth flow. So there's a lot of people, when I get up in the morning and I know I have a round approaching, you want routine, you want flow. If you're rushing in the morning, it kind of sets the cadence for the day. And a lot of times you'll be in a rushed rhythm the rest of the day, and vice versa. If you kind of mellow out and kind of start the day off slowly, you stick with that rhythm. So poor Phil, starting off a little hectic, and didn't really play. He said, you know, everything worked out fine except for his score, and so unfortunately he just didn't play as well as he should have. I love Phil. I think he's actually a comedic genius at times, and you know, I think as golfers or athletes in general, there's so many funny stories in the golf industry of craziness and people, you know, whether it be late to tee times, almost missing them, getting, you know, stressed out before a round. And I have heard stories and stories over the years from instructors and friends, and we all sit around and compare our craziest golf stories. So I, in fact, have had this reoccurring dream that something is stopping me from getting to my tee time. Whether it be, you know, your car can't go, or in the dream you're fighting to get there and you just can't, and it's taking too long, and then you miss your tee time. And I think those are the things that make us a little type A, you know, that we stress over things that in some, you know, I guess it's in your control in some aspects, sure, but there are variables that are out of our control, and that is something the sooner we learn and we let go of those things that we can't control, it makes you a better athlete and a better golfer and a better person, actually, just like in life. So with all of that said, I have to share a funny story. So my original golf instructor that kind of built my swing from never playing golf before, he's played a lot of tour golf and played in a lot of really cool events and played some senior events. And he told me a story that he was with his caddy. He had qualified to play at Torrey Pines, and he shows up, plays the first day, plays okay, everything's fine. The second day, he gets up and traffic is just out of control. Literally out of control. He can't get on the road. Traffic isn't moving. And so they sit and they wait, and then they get turned around and they get going the opposite direction, back the opposite way they need to go. But the policemen are navigating traffic, and they're like, no, we're players, we're the tour player, we're the caddy, we need to get to over here. And it was just a complete cluster. And he panicked, and he got so close to missing his tee time that he literally jumped out of the car with his driver and a golf ball and ran to the first tee. And his caddy said, I'll be there in a few. And he ended up ditching the car on the side of the road so he could run and meet up with his player. It's these extremes that I think sometimes people don't see, that tour players, they're just normal humans. Things happen. You have car issues, you have hotel issues, you have travel issues, and it doesn't always work out. So I think it's pretty impressive that these guys and gals go out and shoot the scores they do, even when things don't go maybe their way or maybe just smoothly at all. I've definitely had my fair share of travel that has turned into a complete chaotic frenzy, but at the end of the day, you just kind of have to laugh it off and not let it ruin your whole golf tournament. So I definitely wanted to hear more about your guys' funny stories, and it just got me thinking. I guess the epitome of golf is a bunch of people sitting around sharing stories about when they played, and they used to go to the course every day with their buddies, and the things that happen. And I think this is something that is kind of dying out in golf. You don't see the camaraderie as much anymore, and it's more of such an independent sport, and it's headed in a different direction. It kind of makes me sad. I want golf to be the traditional game that it once was, and I think we're losing a little bit of that. And sure, you have to change with the times, and you have to be modernized, and you have to keep things going where the world is going for it to be successful. But I think there's an element of that tradition that if we reinstated and made sure was a part of the game, it might intrigue more people to approach it and play it. Golf is a very intimidating sport, first and foremost, because you're on your own. You have no one to fall back on but yourself. And so if we can make it more appealing and create just that sense of camaraderie and family, that's what you hear when you talk to older tour players, guys that played on the tour, and they say, well, back in the day, this is what we did, and da-da-da-da-da. It's amazing to listen to those stories, and they are hilarious, and they're so candid, and they're so open to share those. And that's what we need to get more involved with and have our youth kind of feed right into that. So I want to hear about your funny golf escapades. I know you guys have a lot of them, trust me. I've been getting a few into my inbox here and there about, let me tell you about the time. So I want to hear them. Share them with me, and if you give me the okay, I'll share them on Bigg's Golf Talk as well. Love to talk. Maybe we can have a session just about funny stories about golf. Let me know. I'd love to share. And you guys can reach me on my Instagram. It's arobertsongolf. Make sure you send into my DMs and put your stories so that I can share them with other people if you approve. Also reach out to me on Bigg's Golf Talk. It's BiGGs, BiggsGolfTalk@gmail.com, and we can definitely share some funny stories. We have a lot of time to fill, and we would love to maybe have a roundtable with it as well. I wanted to keep this week lighthearted. Like I said, I'm in the middle of Q School along with many, many, many other females. There's about 360 of us competing at stage 1. So I just want to give a shout out and say good luck for the rest of the weekend to all the girls. and we will hopefully see you all at second stage. So reach out to me and let me know what you're thinking. Thanks, and until next time, keep swinging for par.
That was a great segment by Amanda Robertson. Keep swinging for par, people. Keep swinging for par. On Par with Amanda. Sponsored by Backswing Golf Events. Listen, folks, if you're looking for classy ladies to come and raise money for your event or your charity, as a matter of fact, BackswingGolfEvents.com is the only place you need to go to and book these lovely ladies for your event to raise money and entertain the golfers in your event. Backswing Golf Events is the place for your event today.
Having a corporate or charity golf event? Backswing Golf Events can supply your tournament with personable, professional golfers to entertain and fundraise on the golf course. They can accommodate any size group, whether it be 3 players to 500. They are your team. From range lessons, Beat the Pro, and Pro-Am style roaming, they're making lasting memories one swing at a time. So make sure to check out BackswingGolfEvents.com or call us direct at 661-316-3093 and book your pros now.
In the folded flag, we see the heavy price of freedom. Nearly 9 out of 10 dependents of America's fallen and disabled soldiers do not qualify for federal scholarship assistance. The Folds of Honor closes that gap, already providing over 10,000 scholarships. Join us in this noble mission. Donate today at foldsofhonor.org. This is your call to duty.
Golf is a dirty game. It's time to clean it up with Ready Pot, the only putter cover with a built-in ball cleaner and magnetic surface. Clean balls roll accurately, meaning you make more putts. Sink more, swear less. Clean up your game with Ready Pot.
This is Bigg's Golf Talk with Big John Vick and Bill the GolfFather Cuebas.
Welcome back to Bigg's Golf Talk right here on Native Family Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and your Alexa devices. Big John Vick along with the GolfFather, Bill Cuebas. And Billy, what a week it has been. Kind of touched on it in the opening of the show about just getting back from Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Kicking off that Friday with a Tito's kickoff party. And boy, I don't know what happened to me. I don't remember how I got back to the resort. But, hey, it was a fun time. That's all I know. A lot of Tito's vodka going down, nice and smooth. And then great food, too. Shrimp, ribs, corn.
Yes.
The barbecue ribs was the best.
To die for. Well, you say the barbecue ribs are the best. I say the shrimps were the best.
Shrimps are the best.
I'm just saying.
The shrimps are very popular, but those ribs are just... Even the corn was good. The corn was really good. Baked beans were good. Oh, man, everything was good.
I didn't have any baked beans. I didn't have no baked beans.
Mars Resort, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. You got to check it out.
That place was popping. Beautiful views, beautiful atmosphere. It was gorgeous.
So, Billy, Bigg's Golf Talk was there. We had scheduled one live show, wind up doing 2 upon request. Billy, what a great 2 shows it was.
It was an amazing 2 shows. The first one went off superbly, and it went off so well, and we had such great guests with no dead air time that they asked us to do it again, and we had to oblige. I mean, that place was spectacular. They were very accommodating. Anything we asked, it was done. I mean, it was simple. It's one of my favorite places that we have ever been that we needed to set up. And you saw when the weather came in, they brought us in, they found a place, they got us our connections, everything was set.
Everything went very smooth because we were originally supposed to be scheduled for in between the 2 practice greens. But as soon as they seen the radar in the morning, we got the call that we were getting moved inside and everything's already getting set up for us. We get there, boom, power, we have it. Internet, boom, we have it. Everything was really set up by Geneva National staff, and what a great job they did.
Yeah, they really did. We had Lazier, who was helping us out, and Debbie was there. I mean, you know what I like Big the most? Everybody stepped up. When Lazier wasn't there or Debbie wasn't there, somebody else came in. I mean, even though she might not have known what was what, we had people. We even had the chef come with cable cords.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Everybody came out. Everybody pitched in. everybody was there helping and making the show a success.
And the person overlooking that a big thank you to Rob Booth. Rob Booth, the sales director of sales at Geneva National, making sure Bigg's Golf Talk was treated like kings. And I'll tell you what, the whole resort, all 3 courses, is in tremendous condition, Billy. You and I had gotten to play 2 of the courses, and these courses are not easy either, but they are in great condition.
Yeah, I mean, we could have played all 3, but, because of the slight delay, we had to do our show. And we were lucky that Native Family Radio allowed us to change. And not only did we add the second day to go live, they even changed the schedule to accommodate the late start.
Absolutely. So a big thank you to them. Now, the qualifiers are over. U.S. Golf Challenge has wrapped up their qualifying for the 2019 season. They are looking forward to the 2020 season of national qualifiers for people to qualify. But now we move on in September to the national championship, and this is going to be exciting at the Legends in Myrtle Beach, Billy. And I don't know if you had a chance to check out their website, but multiple golf courses on that website, and the competitors are going to be able to enjoy 3 out of all those golf courses, 3 of the greatest golf courses at that resort. And I'm sure that it's going to be a fun time. You and I, I'm sure, will be golfing those 3 courses as well.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be golfing, and ideally, I did look at the website and everything, and it's amazing. And you know what I didn't know, Biggs? I didn't know that it was affiliated with, I guess it's the Arnold Palmer place too?
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yes.
And I saw it pop up over there, and I was like, wow, that's cool, because I've never been there. And we're looking at all the different courses that they have to play. I'm excited. I'm pretty sure we'll get to play 1 or 2, but these guys, they can go in early and get decent practice rounds if they want. There's a lot of stuff going on in addition to the first party that we have and the closing ceremony and everything. So I'm really excited for this one. I know we're going to have Randy Tatlinger. He's going to be down there as well. And he's going to be filming some stuff for Tank. Yeah, Tank.
Feel the fabric, Billy. There. Feel the fabric.
Feel the fabric, brother, all the way. you know that. I just got chills, man. I got scared. You frightened me again. Like, Mommy, help me. But we're going to have some friends out there. We're going to have some fellow media guys out there that are actually competing.
Yes.
Which I'm really excited about because I had the opportunity to play with one of them. Who's going to be our next guest, but then Brian Stefan, he's out in that area, and he's a big Folds guy. So I'm really, really excited to finally meet him and talk with him and just hang because he does a lot out in that area for the Folds. I mean, he even wore like straw hats and everything for the Folds of Honor out there. So I'm really excited for the event, and I'm really excited to meet friends and make new friends.
Absolutely, and that person that you're talking about, he is our next guest here on Bigg's Golf Talk. John Duval is joining us here on the phone line to talk about his experience in qualifying for the national championship. He will be moving on in Myrtle Beach at the Legends to try and win his flight and become a part of Team USA for the International Kings Cup and win that all-expense-paid trip to Northern Ireland, Billy, and that's something that we need to emphasize. Those that do qualify and win and become a part of Team USA, all expenses paid trip, airfare, hotel, meals, all of that stuff is going to be covered by the U.S. Golf Challenge, and they're going to be competing to retain the International Kings Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's a phenomenal event in itself, everything that they give. I mean, they go top-notch for everything. It's one of the few events that we go to that's consistently on the top, from the food to the parties to the golf courses they're first class all the way. We went from Bay Hill. We went to Geneva National. We're going to Legends now. These aren't those small little itty-bitty courses. These are fabulous courses, and the competition is fierce. People want to win and represent the USA. So there's a lot going on. And we already have, I might have a favorite, I might not. I don't know. It might change. sometimes I like the next guy that's going to be on the guest, and sometimes I don't. It depends how I feel. But, at least I keep it real.
Hey, Billy, has he ever put on a tiny robe? Because I know how big John Duval is. Has he ever put on an extra small robe and says, Billy, feel the fabric?
I think JD's bigger than Tank. So if I saw him in that same robe, I'd probably be just as scared if I saw that thing running at me. So yeah, I don't want to picture that either. No, thank you.
John Duval, welcome into Big's Golf Talk, my friend. You are on your way to the National Championships to Myrtle Beach, September 12th through the 14th. How do you feel about competing in the National Championship to represent Team USA in the International Kings Cup?
I can't wait. Apparently my reputation precedes me on this show, but
talk about
always everywhere.
I think I have a picture of me and Randy together somewhere. I'll have to dig that up and send it to you guys.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Talk about
as long as you guys aren't wearing robes. That's all I care about. If you guys are wearing robes, I don't want to see it.
For those that don't understand the qualifying process of it, talk about how easy it was for you to qualify. Happened to be at a conference, too, for Media ING. How easy was it for you to qualify?
Well, it was simple because I got a partner like Brian. I can just jump on his back. He's getting a bunch of strokes, and I can just let him do all the hard work. No, it was... I mean, it's not so exclusive that they're only going to take like one team or two teams. I think they usually take at least 30% of the field.
Yes, they do.
So it's not like they're trying to be more inclusive rather than exclusive with these events, and a lot of it depends. How many players qualified depends on the field size, but there's actually more benefit if you have a larger qualifier with more teams involved, because I believe if you get past a certain amount of teams, then the winners actually get like a freebie to the Nationals rather than paying their way in. So,
absolutely. Now, you won your flight at the qualifier, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if there were flights at our qualifier or not, but we did win the qualifier. So we got our spots are paid for, and it's a long haul for Brian. For Brian, my partner, he's coming from like 10 minutes away. I think is where he lives in Myrtle Beach. So yes, it's a home game for him. He knows the courses, so I'm going to be leaning on him because I'm not going to have enough time to play a lot of practice rounds. We're playing 3 different golf courses, so it's kind of hard to play all 3 before.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How exciting would it be for you to win that flight and then get that all-expenses-paid trip to Northern Ireland?
It'd be amazing because I've never been to Ireland. Ireland and Scotland are still on my bucket list for golf, so that would be a great way to knock one of those off. And not only that, but you're not just. It's not like a group of Americans that are going over. You're playing with the locals. You're playing with Irishmen. It brings a whole different experience to the competition, really.
Absolutely, because you're actually taking on a whole another team that's their home country. So you're going to be playing against them. But I'll tell you what, Billy and I did attend the International Kings Cup when it was here in America at Bay Hill, and obviously did our live show from there. The camaraderie that is developed when you're in that competition is just incredible. They are so friendly. You truly do make new friends for a lifetime. I have people following me on social media that I still talk to from the Ireland side, and I'll tell you what, man, if I get a chance to go there, it will definitely be a huge, huge thing, and visit my new friends and things like that. But, I'm rooting for you. I don't know about Billy. Billy's like, I don't know who I want to root for. But, JD, I'm telling you, I'm rooting for you.
I've learned about Bill.
Yes, what'd you learn?
Is that his loyalties can be purchased.
With golf equipment.
So we'll have to bribe him.
I might need a ride, JD. I might like, I'm thinking like I might just hitchhike. I think we had that conversation earlier today where you asked me to shave my legs and said, well, if you're on the side of the road and you shave your legs, you might get in the car. So that's still open for debate. I might just do it, but we were just talking about all that fun stuff. I think ideally, you and Brian going into it, being part of the media guys and our media crew and being part of the show and doing everything and doing the golf, world blog tour that we have. I think ideally my loyalty is going to remain with you. And then, to solidify it, you got my man Brian on your team, and he's a huge, Folds of Honor guy, which I didn't know. So I got even more love for him. I mean, you go to Brian's page, and he still has My Patriot Golf Day fundraiser up there. I see a lot of the stuff, different things that he's doing around Myrtle Beach, trying to raise money for a great cause. So ideally, you guys, for your flight, I'm not going for anybody else. I'm going for you guys. But ideally, there's 8 flights. You know what I mean? So there's going to be a lot of winners. And from what we were hearing just recently last week, there's like 240 different teams that are qualified. And I think there was 120-something teams, somewhere along those lines, that are registered or registering or whatever. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. And it's going to be well worth it because we want the best to go over there. Ireland came over here, and they wanted to whip our butts. And we pulled it out. And we want to send our best because we haven't won in Ireland. We need to win. You know what I mean?
And
That's a different kind of game over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a different game over there. But ideally with the scoring, the handicap system being unified across everywhere, I think that's going to level the playing field for the USA a lot better than in the past. Because, from my understanding, their scoring system, one week you can be a 4 handicap, the next weekend you can be a 10. So ideally now, I think the playing field is going to even be more level, and I think the United States is going to go there. We're going to retain our cup, and I think you and Brian are going to be representing your flight. That's just, I'm calling it now, okay?
That'd be awesome. It's not going to be easy, I'll tell you that.
No,
Especially
not at all.
with
We've
format.
seen the guys. No, you're going to have
Yeah,
to
and Brian and I have, we may be at a slight disadvantage because our handicaps may be I guess the rule is with this competition is your handicaps can't be more than 8 shots different.
7, I believe. Yeah, 7, 8, something like that.
So and if we go by our USGA index, there is going to be a greater than a 7 or 8 shot difference. So we're going to be, and basically what it translates to is Brian's not going to get as many shots as he normally would.
Right.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
Now the good thing is it's gross scoring within your flight, so we can take advantage of maybe him making a few natural birdies. And if I can make a bunch of birdies myself like I'm used to doing, then we should do okay. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So the USGC, sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka, scheduled for the National Championship Wednesday, will be check-in for the golf course, but then the pairings party, sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka, is going to take place on September 11th. Thursday, September 12th, 8 a.m., round 1 of best ball on the Heathland course. Friday, September 13th, round 2 with alternate shot on the Moreland course. And then on the final round on Saturday, September 14th, it would be individual stroke play on the Parkland course. And then they're also going to be repairing by the leaderboard on that day. Now, John, out of all 3 rounds, which format suits best your game?
I think the individual stroke play is more my speed. I mean, that's just, the golf has always been kind of an individual game. But I think I can compete with anybody in our flight on an individual basis. I think I go in as a favorite for that just because I'm a lower handicap guy. So in a gross scoring format, I think I'd have the advantage against just about anybody, unless, of course, they're also scratch or plus handicap. So
now get this, Billy. Whoever is on Team USA, the Kings Cup package includes 6 nights at the Roe Park Resort in Northern Ireland, breakfast each morning, practice rounds with a cart, team uniforms, opening ceremonies dinner, lunch each day of the tournament, awards dinner at the close of the tournament, memories and stories that will last a lifetime. So, John, I'm not trying to put a whole lot of pressure on you, bud, but I'm expecting you to be on Team USA and wearing red, white, and blue.
Yeah, no pressure, huh?
and you know what's even better? I think when you're in Ireland, you're going to be part of Team BiGGs, and you're going to have to be our on-the-ground, host over there, feeding us everything that's going on. We're going to need some videos. We're going to need everything so we can blow it up in the States and have our people cheering for you and everything else while they're sipping on their Tito's handmade vodka.
Hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
We're not ahead of ourselves. I could read the future.
I'm confident. I'm just, I'm not ahead of
very confident.
No, I'm just confident. That's all.
I'll tell you what, if I had to make my prediction, I would tell you that the alternate shot round, the round where we play alternate shot, that's going to be where you win or lose the tournament, because that's the most challenging format.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are absolutely right. But what I will give you, this one piece of advice that you can share with Brian. Dude, it does not matter how bad you believe you are playing during that round, because I can tell you when I was there and the people that were distraught about, oh my God, I didn't like this part, blah, 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 I didn't do it, they ended up winning because of that part. So you're not alone. That weeds out the cream of the crop. Even whoever's going to surface is going to surface there. You might think that you guys didn't do well, and then you come out and you win it. So,
and one thing to remember, John, is this: this is an amateur tournament.
Yes.
So they are also amateurs along with you.
Yep.
So
I don't think anybody's going to be a power. I think that's what's going to separate the group is that day. And like I said, I've seen people that they thought they played super horrible, nowhere near the scores that they had, and in the end, they were victorious. So I would say keep your head until that final day when you see that final score and your name's blaring and I'm screaming and jumping on you saying, feel the fabric, feel the fabric. I'm just saying, when that happens, just embrace me. Embrace me and say, Billy, you knew it. You're the man. And we can just go along from there and then live through your eyes when you're in Northern Ireland.
Well, if we have two advantages, it's that Brian is a local, so he knows the courses. And Brian and I always have a blast when we play golf together. And I think that's a big part of it.
That's
we're not going to be stressing. We're not going to be stressed out. Yeah, we always have a good time. And it's going to be a fun event no matter what. And, if you have fun, you play better. I'm hoping we play well enough to represent the team. That'd be awesome.
John Duval, we wish you nothing but the best of luck in the national championships. And can you stick around? We're going to have a roundtable discussion regarding slow play right after this. So can you stick around for that?
Yeah, if you speed it up, because we're already slow.
There you go. There you go. My final question for you, John Duval, what would you tell the people out there, the amateur golfers out there, when it comes to the U.S. Golf Challenge and qualifying for the International Kings Cup?
I would say do it. I mean, there's qualifiers everywhere. It's not that expensive, and there's no commitment involved. It's not like one of those tours where you have to play a whole bunch of events and work up to a nationals. You play a qualifier, you play the nationals, and then you go to the World Championships. So there's not a huge commitment time-wise or financial-wise, because it's really affordable, especially the qualifiers. Absolutely. So just get out there, find a partner, or find somebody you get along with and play well with, and just go have fun, and you'll be surprised how far it can get you.
There you go. All right, more BiGGs Golf Talk coming your way right after this break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about slow play, the hot topic on the pro circuit. We'll be right back right after this.
When you're in a rush, nothing bothers you as much as slow play. Don't let it happen today. I gotta catch me a plane. Slow play. We don't like slow play. Yeah. He says, hey, can't you see? You know it couldn't be me. Slow play. Then he gets over the ball and nothing happens at all. Slow play. slow play. No, we don't. Come on, man, hit it, will ya?
Hey, this is Boxer Shorts, and I've got some big news. Bigg's Golf Talk is now on iHeartRadio. You can download their app for free or go to iHeart.com and search for Bigg's Golf Talk. And make sure while you're there that you favorite us so that you'll know when we're on. Join all the other millions of listeners on iHeartRadio and listen to Bigg's Golf Talk. We're the best. Right.
A golf ball that performs for you. The Encore Avant 55, hot off the tee, a formulated core that delivers more energy and utilizes soft cell technology to achieve ultra-low 55 compression. This blend of innovation and simplicity provides more distance and greater feel. The Caliber, maximum accuracy. A patent hollow metal core creates significant rifle spin while reducing side spin, allowing the ball to travel along a straighter trajectory. The Encore Elixir Tour Ball, hot list winner. The premium cast urethane cover delivers a soft and pure feel off the club face and gives the Elixir ultimate greenside control, durability, and unmatched putting performance. Be sure to check out their combo packages and sign up for the loyalty program. Gift cards are also available. For more information, their website is www.encoregolf.com and be more with Encore.
Golf Dots is a unique, high-resolution ink transfer to personalize your golf game. Golf balls, golf shoes, clubs, Golf Dots can personalize it for you. Golf Dots conforms to USGA rules and doesn't alter the trajectory of your golf ball. Tour proven on all major tours, Golf Dots is designed and made in America. Many styles to choose from that will fit every golfer's personality. New styles are being released on a regular basis. To order your Golf Dots, visit www.golfdots.com and enter promo code BIGGJOHN15. That's Big John, BIGGJON 15 for a discount on your Golf Dots. Golf Dots is available in many golf shops such as the PGA Tour Superstore. The website for Golf Dots is www.golfdots.com. That is golf.dots.com or call 847-829-4238. Personalize your golf game today with Golf Dots.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Bigg's Golf Talk right here on Native Family Radio, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and your Alexa devices as we are in hour number 2. And hour number 2 is sponsored by the U.S. Golf Challenge with Tito's Vodka. Qualify for a national qualifier in 2020 for your chance to compete for the International Kings Cup. Visit usgolfchallenge.com or biggsgolftalk.com. Billy, we have a nice little topic we're going to talk about, but there's something you have to say, right?
Yeah, I just want to, because we were in short, but I want to be real quick. What impressed me the most, these last couple of qualifiers that we went to, they have been women teams. So you've had 2 women on a team qualifying, and you've also had a husband and wife team. So this last event, there was a lot of women. There was all women groups, and there were men and wife groups. So it doesn't matter who you play with. Try and keep the handicap within that 7 7 points for each person, and you have a shot. You can win your flights out there. Go over there, compete, give it a shot, and we hope to see you at a Biggs Golf Talk live event. That's all I wanted to say.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it. So now, slow play has really taken over the hot topic in pro golf and in golf period, because people don't like slow play. It's taken over social media. It's taken over Twitter. And I just wanted to talk about it a little bit on this roundtable discussion. For those that don't know, Bryson DeChambeau took some really big heat for slow play, and Bryson DeChambeau on Twitter Saturday regarding videos showing his. Bryson DeChambeau took plenty of criticism on Twitter and elsewhere Saturday regarding videos showing his glacial pace and certain spots during round number 2 at the Liberty National. Well, he fired back. And, some people say it's the caddies. Some people say it's, you're allotted a certain amount of time and nobody talked to him about anything about slow play, that type of thing. So let's dip into it, slow play. As an amateur, slow play could be very, very difficult to handle on a golf course. It doesn't make the golf fun for the round. Billy, you and I have experienced it many, many times when we run into groups and, we're just waiting on shots. And
it happened a couple weeks ago.
Absolutely, absolutely. One good thing about Geneva National when we were out there, though, they set their tee times apart at 9 minutes.
Yes.
So you actually really didn't encounter anybody.
We never waited for
No.
anybody. No, it was beautifully played. The round went really, really smooth. It was really enjoyable. Yep.
Now, while there is a policy and rules, and John Duval is also here with us for this roundtable discussion, and we'll get his take on slow play. I'm sure he has an opinion about it. But one of the things that I have to say about it is there's a policy already in place. So there's no policy that really needs to be rewritten or redone. There's a policy already in place. The issue for me is if there is slow play, it's enforcement. It's really not changing policies or recreating policies. It's more or less enforcement. And that's on any golf course. If you look at scorecards on golf courses, majority of the scorecards have a time of anticipated finish. So it might be 4 hours and 15 minutes. Could be 4.5 hours. It always varies between 4 hours and 15 minutes and 4.5 hours. It also sometimes breaks it down per 9 holes. So per 9 holes might give you 2 hours and 5 minutes or 2 hours and 10 minutes, depending on the difficulty of that side of the course. So what happens when you're up against slow groups? What can you do as a golfer on the golf course? Well, there's a few things that you could do. Don't hit into them. That's one thing you don't do. Possibly don't confront them. You could possibly go up to them and say, may I play through? And if they ignore you, stand back and then maybe call the pro shop and see, if they can time that group and see if they are actually playing slow. Because, Billy, there's also a such thing as there's a group playing on pace. It's just a group behind them that is playing faster. And the common etiquette is to let that faster group play ahead of you and let them through. That's the common etiquette. But not necessarily is because if you're waiting, doesn't necessarily that mean that the people in front of you are behind in pace. So it's up to the golf course to actually time that group. And trust me, most golf courses have a policy in play where they know how long it takes to play a hole.
Yeah, well, we all talk about slow play, but I've been on a golf course where they came to us and told us that we had to speed it up. And we were literally right on the people, right on top of them. And we're like, how can we play any faster? Well, we need you to play. You're behind. I was like, we're not behind because we had the time on our clock, because on the score, above in the golf cart.
Right.
And we were ahead by 35 minutes. And this guy is telling us that we're slow play. So, and he said, I'm telling everybody the same thing because we have to speed it up. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But for the most part, there is a lot of slow play. We play fast. We play ready golf.
Right.
So when you play ready golf, it's different. You got these guys that you'll play with. I'm sure you and the other John have both run into them where, your ball is 6 inches further away from mine, so I'm going to wait for you to hit. oh, no, yours is this, and then they get into debate who's going to hit first. We don't do that. We go up there, you're ready, go ahead and putt, hit your shot, as long as we still maintain some kind of etiquette, we're fine with that. But you got pros that everybody's come up with these different rules. Rory's saying, well, cut the field sizes. That's going to speed up the round. But if you cut the field sizes, does it really speed up the round? All you're doing is you're still packing them in the same way. So I don't know how that particular, thing would speed up golf by just cutting the field size. I don't think that's the issue. But then you got other people that are really slow. I mean, Kevin Na has changed for the most part. He used to play kind of slow, and he's made the adjustments. You don't hear anything about him anymore with his, he took this time, he's doing this. Now it's other guys that are getting his attention, and people are talking about penalize. Well, what's a stiff enough penalty for somebody that's a millionaire? How stiff is it going to be? What do you cost them? A shot? What happens if they're in the lead? What motivation do they have to play faster? And how everybody's like, oh, we got to make this, we got to change this. Do we really have to change anything? Because it wasn't a problem before, but it's a real big problem now.
Well, I mean, like I said, you don't change anything. It's a lack of enforcement. Here's the thing: does the PGA enough people that work for the tour that can enforce multiple groups at one time? So maybe there's a slow play in one area of the golf course and there's a slow play in another area of the golf course. Is there enough people on the course to monitor and say, because essentially you really do have to take time and monitor their pace. You can't just go by, and I know people always say, pay attention to the group in front of you and keep up with them. Well, what if that group is just super fast and I'm still on pace? However, there's going to be a half-hole gap or there's going to be a whole gap, but I'm still on pace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As a fan, as I watch golf, it's always been difficult to watch golf on TV. But I just like watching it. If I'm there live watching golf, I'm so busy following the groups, I don't pay attention to how slow the golf round is because I'm watching a certain group or I'm walking around watching the play. But let's turn to John Duval. I know he's sitting back right now. John, do you see? You're also in the media as well. Do you find that the tour is kind of slacking? I mean, 5-hour rounds, 5.5-hour rounds. But again, one thing we got to remember is these guys are competing for money and making a living at it.
Yeah, I see a couple of different things from my perspective. I think when Billy, when you were talking about Rory cutting field sizes, I think maybe what he's talking about there is if you cut the field size down after the cut, that means you can put people out in twosomes rather than threesomes on the weekend. That might help speed up play. But that takes a lot of guys. That takes a lot of money out of a lot of guys' pockets too. Because if you're cutting the field, we're already next season cutting the field from low 70 in ties to low 65 in ties. I believe is the new rule. So there's 5 less guys that are going home without a paycheck, every week next year. But the way I see it being a problem is that it's almost like there's not 2 sets of rules, but everything is enforced differently. And it goes back to the whole thing where people used to call in rules infractions when they saw them. The guys that are in the lead, the guys that are on TV, those guys were scrutinized more heavily than the guys that are they barely made the cut and they're just out there trying to grind away for a paycheck. You don't see those guys on TV. They go out early in the morning. And they always hear a story about some guy going out with a twosome or a marker and he flies around the golf course in 3.5 hours because he doesn't really care. He's going to make a check, but he's not contending for the tournament. So they just fly around and no big deal. But the guys on the weekend, the guys that are on TV, they're grinding it out. They're trying to win. They're trying to make millions of dollars. And it's natural for them to take things a little bit more seriously, slow things down a little bit when they're having problems. So I think it comes down to etiquette and it comes down to somebody's pre-shot routine. Some of these guys have really deliberate routines. I think of J.D. Holmes as an example. He's been known in recent years of being really slow because he's got 6 or 8 practice swings and he steps off, steps back, he kind of rethinks it. And, there's guys that just step up there and pull the trigger, and there's guys like JB that sit there and, they go through this routine. It's almost like a tick, like Sergio had his waggle issue at the U.S. Open that one year, and it's a mental thing. And you mentioned Kevin Na, same deal. When the pressure's on, you behave a little differently. I think it's really just a problem with the guys that are leading and not the whole field in general. Because you never hear about slow play penalties on Thursday. It's only on when the championship's on the line, right?
Yeah.
So that's where it's tough to enforce because it becomes situational. If the guy's in the lead and he's grinding and he doesn't want to make a bogey, he might take a little extra time to read that par putt. It's not great for the fans at home that have to sit there and watch him read a putt, that 6-foot putt for 10 minutes. But what do? That's like Big John was saying. You got to find a point at which you have to start enforcing those rules that you said. Otherwise, what's the point in having them?
Yeah, exactly right. Bill, you had something?
Yeah, no, I don't think we mentioned, besides the fact that, John Duval is going to be, we did mention that he's part of the media, and we mentioned stuff, but I want to give him the option, not the option, but I want to give him the opportunity to tell the fans and our listeners where he's at, where he can be found and everything else, because, we had him on for 2 segments, but I don't think people know, where he does, where his blog is at, what he does, and I wanted to make sure that we covered that as well, just to give him a little plug.
IntoTheGrain.com is my website. Find me on Twitter as well, Into the Grain, and Facebook, Into the Grain. Pretty simple.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I like a lot of stuff that he was saying, and I like some of the stuff that's out there on Twitter and Instagram and everything else. How you speed up slow play, and you got people with cannons blowing up the green in the front of them and stuff like that to get them out of the way. So there's a lot of humor going on out there, and they were talking about, some of the stuff that's, serious is that they're talking about stiffer penalties on the European Tour next year. John talked about the cutting down of the sizes and 5 people, less making money out on the tour and stuff like that. So ideally, this could have a huge impact on the game and the people that are playing in it. And it's going to take, like if he says cut the size, can you imagine if they cut the size, further down and somebody like Tiger Woods doesn't make it, or even Rory doesn't make it, or Koepka doesn't make it. These guys don't make it, and I don't know where it broke, but I think there's a better way to fix it. I really do. I think they should enforce the rules regularly across the board, and not who's on TV. Everybody should have the same rules. We've seen different things at different times. I think it needs to be like, you do it, you get the one warning, and you're done.
I think what you need is 2 officials on each 9. You really do. Mm-hmm. That's all it's going to take. 2 officials on each 9. You have one guy that's all of a sudden radios and says, I'm watching this group number, whatever it is, and the second guy just keeps roaming that 9. And then you have 2 other guys on the back 9. I think that's a great solution.
I think so, too.
The Florida State Golf Association, they have the best pace of play policy I've ever seen, and it works. And it's very simple. You have, when you get your scorecard for an event, you have the times are printed out on each hole, and then you have a time at 9 holes. So what they did is they say they have 2 checkpoints. They have a checkpoint at the 9th green and at the 18th green, and you have a time on your card, and it's very simple. You have to be within 15 minutes of that time that's printed on the card, or within 15 minutes of the group in front of you. Because if everybody's delayed, as long as you're maintaining within that group, and that's it. There's no warnings. There's no exceptions. If you don't make your time, you're penalized. Your whole group is penalized. So it's not one individual player. If one guy in the group is slow, it's up to the other 3 to pick up the slack or convince him to play faster. And that's it. And it's you're 100% accountable for your group. And I love that system because it works.
Right.
People don't complain when they get penalized because they know it going into it. They know that's the rule. You've got the times. There's no excuses. And if the PGA Tour adopted something like that, it would probably work too. There would be guys that get penalized. Don't get me wrong. Because like I said, when you're playing for $1 million, you may even that 1 stroke penalty is going to hurt you. But eventually, guys would start to accept it and change their behaviors or whatever it might be to become compliant with that. That's the way it works. I don't think that it's going to happen, but yeah, on an amateur level, the FSGA policy is phenomenal to me. It works awesome.
I've seen that too because I've actually worked for St. Andrews Golf and Country Club in West Chicago, Illinois, and they had a breakdown, and all the rangers had a breakdown of each hole of what their time was. That way, you give a group 3 holes to try and catch up. If not, approach them and explain to them what their time is expected and where their time is. And, John, you mentioned a great point of that 15 minutes, especially on permanent tee times. If you're golfing weekends, your first 5 groups that tee off in the morning, that is your key groups that you either need ahead or right on pace. And typically the first 5 groups need to be at 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole different issue at the amateur level when you're talking about country clubs, because then it's not so much about, how close your tee times are and all that. It becomes an etiquette thing. Some people just don't know any better. They wait around and talk and drink beer until it's their turn, and then they're not ready to play. And so that's a whole different issue on the amateur level. I think the biggest thing for amateurs is just to be ready to hit when it's their turn and to recognize when it's their turn. And then this is usually not a problem.
And at the amateur level, if you're not playing in a tournament and you're just out with your friends, do me a favor. If you're at one side of the fairway, so you're at the right side, far rough and along the tree line, and your other partner or another group is at the left side of the tree line in the rough, you guys don't have to wait for each other's to hit. I mean, what's the odds of you guys hitting a golf ball against each other? It's not going to happen. Both of you can hit at the same time. You don't have to look across. Go ahead, Jimmy. I'm waiting for you. Go ahead. And then you're going to look at your shot again and then take your shot. You both could take the shot at the same time. It's going to, it's not going to wound up in the same place and hit the golf balls banging together. Just hit your shots, So
yeah, and another good rule is your 4th putt's good.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care how far it is. It could be 5 feet. It's good. Yeah.
Pick it up. Exactly.
Double max. That's another good one on the weekends. Double max.
Yeah.
Don't grind out your an 8.
And that's what you can't get more than an 8. Once you're done with that, pick it up, man. We're not waiting no more.
Yeah.
So we've done that. We've instituted all that stuff. We also, depending on who you're with and who you're riding with, we'll park in the middle. You go to your ball, I go to my ball, and we go right off.
Yeah.
Or if you're far away, we drop you off.
It'd be a good thing to ask the Irishman. We were talking about the U.S. Golf Challenge thing.
Yeah.
And it's good to ask people from other countries about pace of play, because like in the UK, it's sometimes a problem, but it's not as big a problem as it is in the States. And I think a lot of it has to do with the games that they play. At a club in the UK, a predominant game is a Stableford format, where you get points assigned for making a par or birdie. Well, the Stableford format allows you to pick up the ball if you're going to make a double, because you don't get any points for a double. So
right.
It's that double max rule, and that helps to speed things up. If you slice one OB, then you hit your provisional, then you chunk one. Okay, I'm going to make double. I'm just going to pick up.
Yep.
Now you're not grinding out an 8 like we were talking about. So the format definitely helps, because in the U.S. we play stroke play, and if you're not playing a skins game or anything, then you're grinding out your bogeys and doubles and triples. And if you got 3 or 4 guys that are grinding out a double, then it can take a while to play that hole.
If you're scoring, like you said, Billy, if you're scoring more than 8, a double par on a par 4, pick it up. Don't even need to putt. Just pick it up.
Just pick it up.
I'll give you that 8.
Yeah. Even if we're on a par 3, we don't let anybody go past the 6, man. If you ain't got that, pick it up, man.
Absolutely.
Because you got some guys that just play tennis. They'll hit it from one bunker to the next bunker, back to the bunker, and no, it could be no. We try to do everything we can, fishing under 3 hours every weekend. Absolutely. We're done.
Yep.
And 90% of the time, we'll never see the second group, and they finish pretty fast. They finish in under 4 hours, but we will never see them again. Once we get to the 3rd hole, we're done. We don't see anybody behind us. They can't even put people in front of us because we'll catch them. They tried that in the beginning to speed things up, and we finished way too fast. We finished in under 3 hours. So we keep a decent pace to keep going, and that's what I like. I like being the first people off the tee. I don't like sitting around and waiting. We did it, I've done it with Big John, where we've been there. You start stiffening up. You start getting out of your game. You get out of your own head. You're too busy worrying about watching the guy 6 putt, and everything else just starts flowing, and it just gets crazy. So a lot of times I'll just stop. And that's what they don't want. They want people to keep coming back, those weekend warriors. They want that pace of play to be fast, because that's how they're going to make the money. We're not the tour. So we need that pace to go there.
All right, we're running behind here on Big's Golf Talk, so we're going to wrap it up here. John Duval, thank you so much for joining us. And one more time, how can people find out more information about your media?
I am at www.intothegrain.com.
There you go. Intothegrain.com. You can follow him on social media from the website as well. He's got some great content, so make sure you follow John Duval and intothegrain.com. We wish you nothing but the best of luck at the National Championships, and we'll see you there.
Thanks, guys.
Coming up next here on Big's Golf Talk is Express Golfco wraps for your golf grips. We'll be right back right after this.
Still using an old golf GPS watch? It's time to upgrade to ShotScope. ShotScope isn't just a golf watch, it's a fully automated golf performance tracking system on your wrist. ShotScope gives you access to over 100 tour-level statistics, get putting analysis, short game breakdown, even find out how far you're booming your driver. All data is captured automatically by the groundbreaking ShotScope golf performance tracking system. ShotScope, the ultimate golf watch. Find out more at shotscope.com.
The United States Golf Challenge, sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka, is in its 5th season of identifying the best two-person amateur teams in the country. 8 teams and 4 flights in 2 age divisions represent Team USA in a Ryder Cup-style competition with their international counterparts in the King's Cup. We're looking for amateur golfers like you. The King's Cup is played in honor of golf's greatest ambassador, Mr. Arnold Palmer, whose honesty, integrity, sportsmanship, and commitment to excellence represent the ideals for which the game of golf is known. The road to the King's Cup begins with a local qualifier. Over 100 local qualifiers will be conducted throughout the U.S. beginning in February. By finishing in the top 30% of their local qualifier, teams earn their way into the USGC King's Cup National Qualifier. The USGC is also looking for golf courses to host qualifiers. For information or to search for a local qualifier, the USGC website is www.usgolfchallenge.com.
Golf Talk for golfers on Big's Golf Talk. Back to Bill the GolfFather Cuebas and Big John Vick.
Welcome back to Big's Golf Talk right here on Native Family Radio, on iHeartRadio, Spotify, your Alexa devices. Big John Vick, along with the GolfFather Bill Cuebas, and as we are in our number 2, you know, Billy, what happens when you're maybe traveling and all of a sudden your grips kind of feel worn, and now you're like, man, now I need new grips. But what if there was an idea that you can have something in your golf bag and ready to go when you feel that golf grip worn down as you're golfing on the golf course? Or maybe you're about to golf tomorrow and you're practicing and you're like, man, I wish I had new grips today. And there is a way of you getting new grips the same day if you have a spare set in your golf bag. Bill, you have tried this company and actually have this on your golf clubs. They're called Express Golfco. And Billy, tell us about this.
Well, I found them on Instagram, no less. I saw it. I really felt intrigued with the idea of what it was. And it was funny because several weeks ago, me and you were talking about wraps and how you really wanted, to wrap your clubs again, your grips and everything like that. So I said, I fell in love with, they have blue, they have a whole bunch, they have a touch series, clutch pure series and stuff like that. And it seemed like a really nice, easy idea. And I've golfed with guys, Biggs, that I don't even know if they've ever changed their grips. And this is like a perfect solution, whether it's a new grip, old grip, it doesn't matter. I took it, and I have a problem with one of my hands. So I was like, you know what? I took a regular grip that I have on my clubs. It wasn't worn, wasn't anything. And I wrapped it. And when I wrapped it, I wanted it a little bit thicker on the bottom. Instead of having the wraps underneath my grip, I now had the wraps on top to make it feel comfortable. And I kept playing with it until I felt comfortable. And then I made it a little bit thicker down on the bottom part of my club. So instead of adding, 2 wraps, I actually wrapped it thicker down there, and it fit perfect to my idea. And I love the feeling. it converted the grip, which I wanted, and it made it still, like exactly what I wanted. I wanted that thickness on my bottom hand instead of my top hand, and it worked out perfect for me.
It sounds like to me when you get this, they give you enough to wrap around and be able to make it thicker on the bottom, like you said. Kind of a plus of another golf company that we've had on a show before, that they have the bottom a little thicker than the top. And I know you've always enjoyed that part of it, and so it sounds like they do give you enough wrap, to be able to, and then you just cut off any access that you don't use.
Yeah, and ideally, even the way I wrapped it, I still had a little excess because, I pulled like it suggested, to make a nice tight as I was going around. And being that I already know how to wrap it because I used to wrap them when I first started golfing, I already knew how to wrap it. So, I had a little edge on it, but it's really, really simple. Even if you mess up, originally, I experimented on purpose, intentionally, to see the different ways I could manipulate it to make it work for me. So, it's simple. And that doing everything that I was doing, it took me like a whopping 4.5, 5 minutes, from start to finish, reading the directions, manipulating it, changing it, unwrapping, wrapping again. And in the end, I was perfectly happy with it. Everything that you need is right there. It's simple, it's clean, and easy. You can't forget that big word.
Well, this also makes for a great backup, for when you're on a golf course. As you and I talked and did a wrap up with John Duval of the and he's going to be at the national championship. But we were kind of doing our Lake Geneva wrap up with him and talked about Lake Geneva, and I talked about my hands getting sweaty, and you and I, you seen that. And I'm like, man, I just can't grip a club. But boy, I could have taken a minute or two, take this out of my golf bag, wrap it around, and I'm good to go. Because listen to this, folks: the Clutch Pure and a Touch technology has a fine polyurethane resin, perfect tack, anti-slip surface, which I really needed in Lake Geneva, durability and comfort all day long, highly flexible material for easy and tight wrapping, and get this, it's biodegradable. That's one of the reasons why I like it.
Yeah. And it's funny because when we were in Geneva National, that's what was happening to you.
Yeah.
You know how often, because you couldn't, remember, it was slipping out of your hands and everything else?
Yeah.
This thing, the technology that they have on it, I took a regular grip that came on one of the clubs that I was testing that didn't fit for me. It's not one of my typical grips that I have and that I'm used to, because, I like having the thicker bottom. I like having, more control of my bottom hand. And this thing, Big, it works. It's simple. You go, you fix it, and it's nice. There's no moving it. And with a glove, without a glove, I was able to hit it with no problem at all. And that's what my biggest concern was, like, okay, is this thing going to slip? Is it going to start moving on the grip that's below it? I did, me, when I'm going to test something out, I go everything. I'm looking for everything and anything. And if I find something before they come on the show, we're talking. I'm messaging back and forth. Okay, this is what
I have a lot of questions, so let's get to our guest right now.
Yeah.
He is the owner of Express Golfco. Joining us on the phone line right now, Trevor Honholter is joining us. Trevor, welcome into Bigg's Golf Talk, my friend.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. First off, what made you come up with this concept? It's a great concept, but what made you come up with this concept?
Yeah, you know what? I think you guys had a lot of exact points of what I was thinking when we were getting this started. Was just basically easy, something simple that could help in an area that I think a lot of people overlook, your golf grip. And it just seemed really inconvenient for us to drop our golf clubs off, sometimes for a full night, and pick it up the next day. And maybe you're spending $100, $150 to get your complete club set done, and maybe you get it back and it wasn't exactly what you wanted. Well, now what? And so, yeah, it's just a simple way to get your club re-gripped. It's an area that I think is often overlooked, and we came up with this. It took probably 2 years. The first year we tried a number of different grips. We have a manufacturer out of China, and tried out about 10 to 12 different types, perforated different types of grips that we wanted to see how they'd perform, and ended up with the 2 series that we have now, and it's been going fantastic.
So this is actually made, Trevor, to go over your current grip. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, exactly. So yeah, it's just a thin polyurethane. You can do it as tight as you want. People that might suspect that it's going to be a huge overgrip that becomes bulky, by no means. It's very thin. You can put it over top, just as Bill had said. He's re-gripping it. You can pull it off. It's not a tape that sticks or ruins your current grip. So it's something that you can really manipulate to make what works best for you.
Sort of, if anybody's ever wrapped a baseball bat, if you have a child that he wanted a certain wrap on the handle of a baseball bat. But I guess if you wanted to compare something, that's pretty much what's compared to, right? Because on a baseball bat, that does not have a tacky surface where it's a tape. It's just a wrap, and then you kind of use a final tape on the bottom of it. Is that how Express Golfco works too?
Yeah, exactly right. So yeah, it's just you can wind it down, just overlapping your current grip, and we provide inside the package. It's got an Express Golfco finish tape. So wind it down however you prefer, and then you put on the Express Golfco finish tape at the bottom. And I think we get questions quite often, how does it hold up, or is that going to fall apart? Not at all. I encourage anybody just to try it out, because it is simpler than you think, and it holds up very well. And you put that finish tape on the bottom, and Bob's your uncle.
How about the longevity of this? What is the average longevity of this?
So, I mean, it's not a long-term. I think that's an excellent question. I think a lot of pushback that we've seen anytime that we talk to a traditional golf gripper, that guy's doing that as a job. And obviously they kind of get their backs up a little bit when they see this concept. And what it is, it's a quick, easy fix for your clubs. We all know how mental golf is. So if you can come up with an easy way to, get your mind right. We're hockey guys. We're actually from Canada, and it's very similar to when you retape your hockey stick. It's not a tape, but it gives you that same tight feel. And you know what? You put on a new grip on your stick, and you just have a whole new mindset, a whole new outlook. And if you can put that in golf, which we have, I think it's a great thing. So you'd probably get about 10 rounds is our average, depending on which club and a few different variables. But 10 rounds is a pretty good estimate. And like I said, we've got guys that are re-gripping their clubs every 3 weeks. Let's say they got the yips and they just want to get something out. It's such an easy way to just reset your mind and your game, and away you go.
Billy, I mean, I talked about it earlier, but This is a great backup to having something in your golf bag. Just, especially if you're golfing in Arizona, you're golfing in New Mexico, you're golfing down in Texas, your hands could get sweaty, and maybe the grip is just on the borderline, and, reactivating your grip with a towel just is not working. This is a great solution to have in your golf bag as a backup. And Trevor, it sounds like to me that's what it's made for, and giving you an extension of maybe 10 days. So maybe you have that time to still get your golf tournament in or get your golf rounds in if you're on the road and you're on a golf vacation. And then when you get back home, then you could get the grips permanently replaced. But it sounds like to me this makes for a great backup in a golf bag.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, 10 games, there's guys that they only golf 10 games a year.
Yeah.
And there's guys that could probably stretch that out longer too. I think 10 games is pretty conservative.
Let's talk about the series you offer. You offer a Clutch Pure series and you offer a Touch series. What's the difference between the two?
Yeah, so we have the two series. There's price point, and so as I said, we're Canadians. Our price point is $397 on the Clutch Pure series, and we're $5.97 each on the Touch series. And it's the same thickness for both. The only difference is that our Touch series have designs as opposed to the Clutch Pure series that are just straight pure colors. And the feel is very, very similar to both. With our Touch series, it's just a little bit more flavor, a little bit more personality. If you want to put a tiger grip on your putter, for example, that's the difference. And so there's a little bit of added cost for us in the designs as opposed to the Clutch Pure. And the Clutch Pure have a little bit more tackiness than the Touch series. So price point and the designs, you get to personalize it a little bit more with the Touch series.
Gotcha. Now on your website, there is instructions on how to install this, but the instructions are also on the packaging itself, so that's also good. Currently, there is no tutorial video on your website, but you plan on offering a tutorial video very, very soon on the website. But we've also talked to you during our commercial break, and Bigg's Golf Talk is also going to be doing a video as well. And we're going to actually be wrapping a golf grip and showing our listeners how to do that. So that's going to be good to do that as well. How can people find out more information about Express Golfco?
Probably the best way to get a hold of us is on our website at www.expressgolfco.com. And we've got a great Instagram account, very active, and that's at Express Golfco. And our Facebook page, also Express Golfco. And you can find all the information you need on our website. Has a little bit of a breakdown of a few things that we do. And we're really looking forward to that tutorial. It's something that we're going to get on the website. But it's straightforward. It's easy to do. Really, I think the back of the packaging explains it extremely well. And it's something that anybody can do.
Quick, fresh, and confident. You do it in less than 60 seconds. And Bill the GolfFather Cuebas can testify to that. Maybe a little bit longer if you want to add a little more extra to make it a little more thicker on the bottom, like Bill the GolfFather did. But so let me ask you this, because I'm on your website and great designs on there. But you know what I'd love to see? And I don't know if you have any futures for future designs, but if you do, I have some advice. How about a flag series? So you have Canada, you have Canada A, and then you have USA, kind of thing. And then have you ever thought of customization on the wrap, on the golf grip?
Absolutely. I think that's probably the hugest area that we're looking to get into. Right now, our minimums are a little bit higher than we want. We need a minimum 1,000-piece order to do our design grips. And it's something that we've looked into for corporate. Flag series would be fantastic. We just began here this spring. So
okay, cool.
We've just started up, and it's been a whirlwind through the summer to make sure that people get the idea, and they have. And so we've went into there's two companies that we're working with right now. They're larger companies. I probably shouldn't say who they are, but very well known companies that we've talked to here. And that 1,000-piece order is really where we're at right now. And I think with a flag series, we could easily do that. But yeah, the corporate end, I think that that's going to be a huge expansion for us as well.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. You got
Biggs Talk. We got to get some Biggs Talk grips.
Yes.
Yeah, Biggs Golf Talk grips. Yeah, absolutely. GolfFather grips. Yeah.
Heck
the GolfFather.
That'd be awesome.
There's some baby socks. We'll put some socks on a grip. The last show I heard you guys, you were talking about socks quite a bit.
Yeah.
You heard the show. That's a funny story that we have there, because we only got a couple minutes, but ideally we had one of the Tito's Vodka girls who also had an amazing career. She's in the medical field. She had a lot of jobs, but she had an issue with socks. Most people have a foot fetish or this fetish. She hates socks, and she said, "Let's not talk about it." So me being me, we had to talk about socks. I couldn't let it go. It was a beautiful thing, and watching her, uncomfortable right next to me talking about socks. But yeah, that'll be cool. A socks grip. Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Trevor, thanks so much for joining us here on Big's Golf Talk. This sounds like a great product and really a great answer for people that travel a lot on golf vacations. And, like you said, even if they just golf 10 rounds a year, I mean, this sounds like a great answer for them as well. And so they don't have to spend a whole lot of money on golf grips, like $150 to have new golf grips put on. You just do this, and it's a great answer for them. But, I'll certainly be carrying a pack in my bag as a backup because Bill, the GolfFather Cuebas, will testify to. My hands do get sweaty a lot in hot, humid conditions, and this sounds like it's a great answer for me. If those grips are getting worn down, I could just take 60 seconds, throw this around my grip, and I can finish my round and hopefully score a low round. So, great product. Thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you guys nothing but the best of luck, Trevor. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
The website is expressgolfco.com. That's expressgolfco.com is their website. Give them a follow on social media as well. Let them know that you heard them here on Big's Golf Talk. And if you have any further questions, forward those questions to us. We'll be more than happy to get a hold of Trevor and answer those questions and get those answered for you. All right, we're going to move on here, get into our next break. When we come back, it will be our Biggs product of the week. We'll be right back right after this.
Have you ever seen a tour pro line up a putt with a dirty ball? No way. A clean ball rolls accurately, and accurate putts mean lower scores. The solution? Ready Putt. It's the putter cover reinvented. Ready Putt has a patented ball cleaner that's made to absorb and retain water. All you need to do is add water, and it remains wet throughout your round, giving your ball the perfect shine. It also has a magnetic surface to hold your ball marker and divot repair tool. Let's say you switch putters from round to round using a blade, mid-mallet, or large mallet. Ready Putt Original has you covered. Look, putting is hard enough. Accurate putts start with a clean ball, and a clean ball starts with Ready Putt.
For more information about Ready Putt, visit ReadyPutt.com. That is ReadyPutt.com. Clean it and sink it. The Spider Divot Tool's revolutionary new design is better for greens and makes ball mark repairs easy. No sharp ends or dirt in your pocket, the Spider achieves amazing results with little or no skill. With a simple push-pull action, the Spider makes ball marks disappear quicker and better for a smoother putting surface. The Spider includes a magnetic ball marker and is made of milled aluminum to last a lifetime. It also makes a great gift for your next tournament and that special golfer who has it all. The Spider tool from Instagolf is a must-have in every golfer's bag. For more information about the Spider Divot Tools, their website is www.spiderdivot.tools.com and enter promo code BIGG Golf Talk to get 10% off your purchase. www.spiderdivot.tools.com. The Spider Divot Tools is the official divot tool of Big's Golf Talk.
This is Big's Product of the Week. Each week, Big John and the GolfFather select a golf product to feature. Here is Big John Vick and Bill, the GolfFather Cuebas, with this week's Product of the Week.
Big's Product of the Week is sponsored by the U.S. Golf Challenge with Tito's Vodka. Qualify for the King's Cup today by participating in a U.S. Golf Challenge national qualifier, and you have an opportunity to play for Team USA for the International King's Cup. You need to be 21 years of age to enjoy a great Tito's beverage, and friends, don't let friends drive drunk. And Big's Product of the Week, Billy, you have Big's Product of the Week there, don't you?
Yes, for Big's Product of the Week, we had to go big, yes, pun intended, with Bigg.Balls. That is our product of the week, Bigg.Balls, to go low.
Is this, by any chance, sponsored by AC/DC?
No, not at all.
Do you remember that song, Billy? AC/DC, Bigg.Balls? You know,
Bigg.Balls, baby.
I'll tell you, when I went to
Bigg.Balls for going low.
That's right. When I went to BiGGs golf.com, I was expecting an AC/DC song to be kicked off on on an automated playing thing or something like that. Maybe we could talk to our next guest about this. But before we get to our next guest, Bill, you had a chance to try out this terrific product. Talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the idea for the part, from what I took from it, is from 6 feet in on putt. And at first I was like, it just looks like a huge golf ball, and is it really going to make a difference? And then as you're putting on the green with it, and you're realizing that, like, wow, you go from a huge ball and getting it in a smaller hole as opposed to a tiny ball that now becomes a big hole. And it actually, for a visual, it actually works. It was, that's why I did a product of the week. That's why I chose it, because, I was trying it on different surfaces, and I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a run. But when you try something and it does build your confidence, and let's be real, we golf together all the time. The most putts we're going to make, you see how many long ones we make?
Yes.
We can make those long ones, and then all of a sudden we get 3, 4, 5 feet in, which is real easy. That hole becomes really tiny, and we don't know why, but I think there's a mental aspect behind the whole thing, because when I start putting back with my regular golf ball, you're making better contact with it, and you're making a better roll.
Well, the bottom line is, Billy, is when you're 10, 15 feet away from the hole, obviously you want to get it in the hole, but the whole objective is to lag the putt so you have only one extra putt. And a lot of times, amateur golfers average would leave it 6 feet short. That's the average. And to make that 6 foot putt, I mean, sometimes it could be nerve-wracking. And the closer you get to the hole, it seems like that's the most that your nerves get kicked in, especially if you're golfing in a tournament, and you're golfing for placement inside of 6 feet. That's where the nerve racks come in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the smallest putt, that hole, you get it within a foot, all of a sudden your mind plays terrible tricks, and that hole all of a sudden becomes smaller than your golf ball.
Yeah.
And it plays terrible games with your head, and with practicing before. I mean, it's just a couple minutes. It's no big deal. It's like what we would normally do. You go to the putting range, and instead of using your regular golf balls, you whip out Big.Balls, and you start putting, and then you go back to your first tee, and all of a sudden that cup becomes huge, because the ball, I don't know how big in comparison, but I would say it's at least 1.5 times size a normal golf ball. I guess you'll be able to tell us more about the sizing and why they chose that. But, the ball, trying to get that big ball, it's like when you go and you play that game where you skeet ball. You try and get that ball into the hole. It's smaller. And you take a little one, it's a lot easier. And it's the same concept visually in my mind. And I think it actually works pretty well for me. It makes those short putts a lot easier.
Let's bring in our guest now. His name is Miles Doak, and he is with Bigg.Balls. And he has the hashtag Go Low. And in order to do that, you need to make more putts. We've always said it, that on the green and the short game is where you gain the most strokes at. And, he's got something to help you make more putts and lessen those 3 and 4 putts. Miles, welcome into Bigg's Golf Talk, my friend.
Hey, thank you for having me, and happy to be here.
What made you come up with Bigg.Balls?
Well, I was just listening to you guys go back and forth, and that's exactly it, and the exactly reason why. I'm just an average golfer. I've been golfing my whole life, but I live up in Canada, so we only really get 3-4 months of actually golf weather. So I'll shoot 85 to 95 every round, and I've just found in that those putts, those 3, 4, 5, 6 foot putts, is where I found I lost most of my strokes. So I was actually thinking about when I was a kid, I used to play basketball with the oversized basketball. And then when you go back to the regular one, it feels like you're shooting in a hula hoop. And then I was on the practice green one day, and I'm watching all these golfers putting towards dimes and nickels, or putting a tee in the ground, and they're all trying to achieve that visualization. So I kind of sent me on my search to kind of find a product. Couldn't find one, so being an entrepreneur my whole life, I decided to go down the journey of making one for myself. And that's really how Big.Balls came to be. And then I worked on it for about 2 years. Had the concept, got some samples in, found the manufacturer, and then I launched a Kickstarter to kind of crowdsource the first order. Raised $20,000 in 30 days. Got the first order in, and then we were kind of off to the races.
Now, how much bigger is this golf ball compared to a standard golf ball?
It's 30% bigger. So I want it to be big enough that you do feel the difference, but right size that you can still have a good stroke. Like if it was too big, then it's not going to feel nice. It could maybe pop over the putter head. So I went through a couple different versions and then ended up it's about 30% bigger.
Now the concept is pretty simple, right? It's, you're going to use your regular putter when you're putting with this. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah. The concept is anywhere between 2 and 6 feet. You practice with the big ball. You practice 10, 20 times, and then when you go back to your standard size golf ball, it feels like you're putting a marble into the bucket. And doing that over and over is going to build your confidence at that level. So then when you are on the green and you're looking at that putt that you wish your buddies gave you a gimme on, but they're making you putt it, that you know that you can hit it.
Does this also help? Now, 2 feet, you're firmly going to be putting the ball into the hole, so you're not worried about any break. But around that 6 foot area, you're worried about some break. Will Big.Balls help you read the greens better too?
Yeah, like it will give you a feel on it. But the bottom line is, this isn't trying to be some miracle product. Average golf courses out there, they're not using these crazy breaks that you see that the pros use. So maybe a slight break, but if it's like bending like crazy, like I'm not going to say that Big.Balls are going to solve that problem for you.
Now, when
it's about seeing the ball go into the hole. And then when you go back to the standard size, you feel like that hole is so much bigger compared to before using it.
Now, when purchasing this, do they get one big ball or do you get 2 big balls?
No, you get a pack of 2.
Pack of 2 big balls. There you go.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. Now, I got to ask you, I don't know how old you are or how young you are, but have you ever heard of AC/DC and have you heard this song?
Yeah, I have heard that song. I'm 28 years old, but when I was playing minor hockey growing up, that was always in the dressing room.
and did that have any influence on the name of the company?
the AC/DC?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I'm trying to think right now. I had a list of ideas, and then it really just came to be like, well, no, it's a big ball. Like, let's just keep it simple. It's a simple product, simple name, and as well, you'll be able to play on top of it. Do you have big balls? How are your big balls? Like, that's kind of stuck with it.
Now, on the 2-pack, you have Big.Balls 27 and Big.Ball 91. Does those numbers have a significance to the balls itself?
Not to the balls itself, but more to me. Just I'm born in 1991, so I wanted to put 91 on it, and then my dad's favorite number is 27, so I wanted to surprise him when they came in and put 27 on it, and that's how those numbers came to be. But as I went through and going through my first order of 5,000, the new ones, they don't have numbers on them. They're just going to say big ball.
There you go.
Because as we go on now, more accounts are coming more on, and some people want to build a 3-pack, and then as well too, I'm doing a lot of customization for golf courses, and it's a lot easier to just have no numbers on it. So you got the limited edition big balls now.
Yeah. Now I want to find out you did mention just now that the golf shops, can get it customized. How about the average Joe like me in BiGGs? I have my own logo. I'm famous in my own mind, the GolfFather and, Bigg's Golf Talk and stuff.
Yeah.
If I wanted them, what does the regular person have to do to get some for themselves?
You just got to go on the website, go to the customization, and then send an email, and then we can figure it out. It's like a 25-unit minimum. That's going to get your logo on it, and then once you get past 50, then you don't have any setup fees or anything like that.
What this also would make, Billy and Miles, is a great T prize. So you would have maybe a contest hole. This would actually be a great closest to the pin prize.
Yeah, they would. I think I think it would be amaze people without doing that.
Yeah, for sure. And as well, too, you've been to a lot of golf tournaments and you get your swag bag when you're starting out. This is also a new product that is fun. And as well, when you put the logo on it, it's going to have a great brand impression because people are going to show the other people what they got, and it has your logo on it. That's always good. And then as well, they work. It's very simple, but if you put 10 times from 5 feet away and then put down the regular golf ball, you're going to feel it every time. So,
wow. I mean, this really sounds like a great product, Billy. Like you said in the beginning, you had a chance to try it, and you add on the customization to this. This could be a phenomenal thing that moves on in the future.
Yeah, You know what, Biggs? I'm going to bring them to Colorado with me. I'm going to load these bad boys up for our next live show, and I think maybe we'll have a putting contest with them.
Absolutely.
Be at the board more. Why not? Why not? You know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to personalize. You know what I got? I got me some golf dots, and I'm going to pimp my BiGG.Balls with the GolfFather logo on it. We're going to have a contest out there, and we'll bring a prize. We always bring prizes anyway, so we'll have a giveaway.
So
and they're going to have to putt with BiGG.Balls.
You know how golf balls generally have a logo on them, right, Billy? And then what people could do, especially the size of 30% bigger than a standard golf ball, you could actually use so you got the BiGG.Balls on one side, you got your logo on the other side, and you know how you have your alignment aid? How about using your website as the alignment aid? And what a great branding idea that is, because now you've put a website, or you could put a phone number on there and use it as the alignment aid. So right in the center of that, you can line that up, and boom, they look at your website, they look at your phone number, you have a logo on there, you have the branding of BiGG.Balls on there, and boom, it's a win-win for everybody.
I think so. I think it's a great tool. And being that I've already, played with them, I'm going to let other people, I want to see how other people react. And maybe we can film them. Maybe we can use this for our next YouTube video.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think it'd be perfect. I like it. I think it's going to work out really well.
Miles, how can people find out more information about your company?
If you just Google BiGG.Balls Golf, you'll find everything. I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and then the website, obviously. I do have a Twitter, but oh my goodness, I forget to tweet. My Twitter handle actually says you'll find us on Instagram. But,
Well, Instagram has become the place to go.
Yeah,
as far
I
as
think Instagram's a good way to go.
Yeah,
and Biggs, for the listeners out there, it's really simple. It's BiGGballsgolf.com.
BiGGballsgolf.com is their website.
Yeah, it's real simple. I'm on it. I've been looking at it, and if you want to play with BiGG.Balls, get over there, check them out. You want to customize these things will make great. And
what's so great about it? So for your with your 2 big balls, you get a ball sack with it too. There you go.
Yes, you got a ball sack, baby. Yeah, love it.
Yeah. You don't want to mix them up with the other balls.
There you go. Hey, Miles, thank you so much for joining us here on Big's Golf Talk. We really appreciate you, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck with your BiGG.Balls.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Big's Product of the Week has been sponsored by U.S. Golf Challenge with Tito's Vodka. Qualify for the King's Cup today by participating in a national qualifier near you. And to find out more information, visit usgolfchallenge.com or BiggsGolfTalk.com. Billy, that does it for another great show. Man, oh man, having John Duval on and BiGG.Balls and Express Golfco on and, talking about slow play and everything else. Been a big show, my friend.
A really big show with a lot of big balls, brother. We're rolling. Roll them.
Don't forget, next Monday, not this coming Monday, next Monday, I believe it's September 1, I think it is. Is that Monday? September? No, September 2.
No, it's actually the 2nd.
Yep, September 2nd. We're going to be in Colorado Springs, Colorado. As a matter of fact, recording our show that week, and we're going to be on Saturday and airing our show. But then Monday, September 2nd, we're going to be live. So that's going to be a fun time. Next week at Colorado Springs, Colorado. As a matter of fact, I believe Saturday you and I are going to a Colorado Rockies game.
Yes, first baseball, then we have their gala.
Yep.
And then we have our big show.
Absolutely. And yours truly will be emceeing that gala, so I'm looking forward to it. So, that does it for us. For the GolfFather, Bill Cuebas, for the Golf Diva, Amanda Robertson, I'm Big John Vick. This has been Big's Golf Talk. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week. Good golfing, and you matter.